Echoes of the vanished. The town of Elmswood was the kind of place that vanished from maps but never from memory. The silence there wasn't just quiet, it was oppressive, like the world had turned down its volume to listen for something that had already happened. 11 people had disappeared over the past 5 years, and the police had no suspects. No bodies. No answers. At the center of it all was Blackridge Manor, a hulking Victorian relic that loomed at the edge of the forest. Its windows were boarded, its roof sagged under years of neglect, and its garden was a tangled graveyard of thorns and forgotten statues. Local children dared each other to touch its rusted gate, but none ventured inside. Not anymore. But Marla Anders was no local. A rising true crime journalist known for her brutal skepticism and tenacity, Marla had made a career exposing fakes, psychic frauds, staged hauntings, conspiracies built on paranoia. Her latest podcast series, Myths That Die Screaming, was a viral hit, and Blackridge was going to be her crown jewel, a real-life haunted house myth, ready to be torn apart by facts. She arrived with equipment, high-end recorders, a thermal camera, EMF detector, infrared gear, and her trusted Nikon. She spent the first few days gathering stories, interviewing reluctant townsfolk. Most refused to talk. A few couldn't help themselves. One was Mrs. Calloway, a 74-year-old widow whose husband vanished from their porch. "I still hear his voice, miss," she whispered, clutching her rosary. "Always around 3:17 in the morning. Just outside the gate." Another was Jacob Wren, whose teenage sister disappeared during a school tour of the manor years ago. "She called me," he said flatly, "a month after they stopped searching. Just static, and then her voice. She said, 'Don't trust the mirrors.'" Marla smiled politely, filed the notes, and prepared for her solo investigation of Blackridge Manor. She entered just after midnight. The manor was still, save for the wind pushing through broken boards. The floors groaned under her boots. Her recorder caught creaks, clicks, and silence. The main hall's chandelier hung crookedly, its crystals stained by time. Family portraits lined the walls, faces faded, but eyes still watching. She wandered from room to room. Nothing happened, until it did. In what had once been a parlor, the EMF detector spiked. Then, softly from her earpiece, a whisper. "Marla!" She froze, rewound the recorder, played it again. It wasn't imagination. Her name, spoken in a rasping voice that wasn't hers. The mirror hall was worse. A long corridor on the east wing, lined with full-length mirrors. Some were cracked. Some were so pristine they reflected every hair on her head. She noted the symmetry, the strange angles. She held her breath. Then one reflection didn't move. She turned sharply, nothing behind her. She raised her camera. The reflection blinked. She didn't. Something cold grazed her neck. She ran, but the whispers followed, soft as breath against glass. Later, she reviewed the audio. Amidst the white noise and footsteps, dozens of voices whispered over one another, layered in a tangled chorus. "Help me." "She took us." "In the glass." "Don't look too long." "Don't trust the mirrors." "Marla." Then a single clear voice, male, calm. "They are not dead. They are trapped in the echo." She played that line again. And again. Trapped in the echo. On the fourth day, Marla found a dusty trunk in the manor's attic. Inside, a leather-bound journal. It belonged to Clara Blackridge, the last known resident. The entries were increasingly erratic. Clara described a mirror gifted to her by a traveling medium. She claimed the mirror didn't just reflect, it captured. Over time, her servants began to vanish. And she heard them afterward, whispering in the mirrors, pleading for help. They live inside now, she wrote, trapped in glass. In echoes. The final page simply read, I look too long. I heard my name. She wears my face now. On the 6th day, Marla sent one final voice memo to her producer. I don't know what I believe anymore. These people, the ones who vanished, they didn't just disappear. I think they're here. Still here. I'm starting to hear them clearer now. That was the last time anyone heard from Marla Anders. Her gear was recovered weeks later by a thrill-seeker who refused to speak after the discovery. Marla's recorder, however, was intact. On it, her voice screaming, then silence, then whispers, 100 voices, then one, unmistakably hers. They're here. We're all here. Don't trust the mirrors. Today, people still find the recording online, the infamous Elmswood tape. Some say it's just audio fiction. Others claim it's cursed. Those who play it alone at night report strange reflections, whispers, cold spots, and sometimes they vanish too. Just like the others. Just like Marla. Just like the echoes of the vanished.